So today's a very exciting day. It's day 7 that my eggs have been in the incubator. I have 2 incubators here. One's automatic and one I have to manually turn every day. And on day 7, you can candle your eggs. So I'm going to teach you how to do it. You don't need anything fancy. You can use a flashlight or a cell phone, and let's get started. So I'll start first with a flashlight. So you just pick out an egg. I like to label them as I go, but I didn't bring my marker to do it this time. Okay, so this one you can see has life. See that little dot right there? That's the little embryo. And I just kind of cup my hands around the light and you can watch it. Sometimes the embryo will move, like right there, it's moving. So you can see it's healthy and strong. Let's try another one. I think one of my smaller ones, if I remember right, wasn't alive. Okay, yeah. So this is an example of an egg that has no life. You can turn it around and see that there are no embryos, or silk for silky, and I do my manual one. I write an X and leave the other side blank. Yeah, so this one is no good. Wasn't fertilized. So you just kind of look like where the egg yolk would be. And you're looking for little lines or a black dot in there, something that would resemble life. This is just your egg yolk here. I like to remove it so you don't have a risk of it breaking and smelling terrible as you incubate for 21 days. So I take my yucky eggs and I put them in the basket, and then I continue to look. Now this one is a dirty egg. And note that you can put dirty eggs into the incubator. You should not wash them because it can also wipe off the good bacteria on them. All right, so this one, also no life. You can see that it has the yolk inside, but in here I don't see any life or evidence of it, just the yolk floating around. Okay, so if you're not 100% sure, I like to put a question mark, and then you can put it back into your incubator before you just discard a bunch of eggs, if you would like to do that. I mean, obviously, you don't have to get rid of them. It's just my own personal preference. And because I have an automatic one, if I can get it to like 60 in my automatic, because my automatic one holds around 50, if I can put like 60 or 70, then I no longer have to rotate. But I did start with 100 eggs, so I'm hoping for 70 or 80 to hatch. Now I have my Sharpie pins so we can actually label the eggs. These ones I collected myself and from my own chickens, but on this side, I actually bought them from vendors. So I wanted to see how my purchases went. So let's see how they did. So these are the Easter eggers. And this one's not looking so good. As you can see, I don't really see any life form. You're looking for that red dot with some lines. I'm going to leave this one as a question mark because I really want it to be alive, but it does look bigger than a yolk. It's hard to see with my other lights on in the house. So I'm going to leave this one as a question. I bet it is alive. So the green eggs are harder to see, as are the brown, really dark brown and black. But right there, it was moving. And you can tell that also this is bigger than a yolk. If you were to look at this whole egg, you can see that it's larger than a yolk would be inside of your egg. Let's try it with a cell phone. In case you don't have a flashlight. I'm going to try another one of my Easter eggers. So the cell phone is a little bit more difficult. But there you go. You can see right here is a line. But it is alive. If you get a really harsh line in another week, it's not good. I prefer using a flashlight. But up here at the top, I don't know if you can really see it, but there is an embryo let's go back to the flashlight so we can get a better view. Yeah, so over here at the top is the embryo. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. You can? Awesome. So I prefer a flashlight. And you don't have to have a bunch of fancy equipment. You can see the lines in here where the veins and things are. It's really cool. So sometimes people say that the long pointy ones are roosters, and sometimes people say if you get a long pointy one, don't grow it because it's not going to be there. So let's see if there's life in this one. And it looks like... In here, I would say that there is life right there. Boom. I don't know. It's harder to see in the green eggs, but we have life in this longer, pointy egg. So that's good. And you can see that my egg is dirty. I saw the little thing float. I don't know if you saw it moving right there. There it is. Boop. So it's the teacher in me.
Like that.
And then these ones are my poofy-headed ones. The Polish chicken breed with the poofy heads, that's what these ones are. I ordered 30 of them. All right, so here we can see. This one's looking good. There's always a risk when you hatch them in the wintertime because if you don't collect your eggs frequently enough, sometimes the eggs get frozen or they're not viable. But the person that sold them to me did a good job. So you can see it was moving in there just a minute ago. So exciting. Last egg that I wanted to show you is called the ring of death. Right here, you can see that the embryo started to develop, but then something happened and it died. So if you ever have this defined line all the way around, it means that it's a goner, unfortunately. So now I'm going to check the eggs with my children. We'll put a check mark on the ones that are alive, and the ones that are questionable, we're going to put a question mark, and the ones that we know are no good, we're going to toss. So here we go. So in here, these are my non-automated ones. I put checks now. So now we have our checks and X's. There they are. That's what's left. All right, so all these eggs right here were not viable, unfortunately. So we lost 18 from each round. So 18 plus 18, I don't know, like 30-something eggs, 36 eggs. But that's one of the risks that you have when you're hatching eggs in February. So it's just part of farm life. But we're still excited with the eggs that we have. So we'll see how they grow.